There are pains we gotta follow, there are pains we cannot run when we're looking down the barrel of a gun. It is not about surviving, either living or you're dying. Stand your ground and never ever be afraid, 'cause we are one. 'Cause we are one. So break your chains, take your ground, make some noise and gather round, 'cause we are one. Yeah, we are one. We stand united. Whoa, whoa. United, together rise and fall, 'cause it's all for one, one for all. Yeah, it's all for one. And we will stand our ground.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Showdown 2019. We just had our final opening match, and it was for Group B. And it was an NA showdown as we saw CLG Red taking on Forever 21. And maybe not to anyone's surprise, it was CLG Red that came out on top with some standout performances from many players. But specifically, I did want to touch on Diane, as we just heard from her in that interview. She's been looking really, really comfortable with the op as well as IGLing at the same time. So, Potter, what were your thoughts?
I mean, it's really herself finding those picks and going out and being proactive. And specifically on a map like Overpass, it allows you those opportunities more so than any other map because you're able to fall back and find cover, either in the bathrooms or once you push short B water, you just go back up the ramp.
There's so many angles that you can take. You can just fall back slightly and take a whole different angle, be even off angle, so that really an op is crucial.
Definitely.
In a map like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melania, specifically, the teamwork just looked really on point for CLG Red as well. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
They really had it in their teamwork, this map. The flashbangs were so on point. They got, even though they were a little bit blinded themselves, they just managed to get these headshots that were really nice. And yeah, that gave them also like three Ks as well. So, yeah.
And of course, with that win, we are wrapping up our opening matches for both groups A and B. But now it's time to head into our first winners match of the day. Of course, the victor here will be moving forward all the way to Sunday. They get to rest and have it easy for tomorrow and use all of tomorrow to prepare. And our first winners match is going to be Dignitas taking on Demise. Now, this should be super, super interesting because I think a lot of us did not expect this to be the winners matchup. I think a lot of us expected the Flames to be moving forward. So based on at least what we saw from the matchup on Nuke, where Demise came out on top, do you think that they actually have a chance, considering they were the underdogs?
You know, starting off this morning, I would have said no, but after seeing the performance individually, like Tina on that upper bomb site on Nuke, there's certain reactions when you're watching a player, and her just barely shoulder peeking, just showing a little elbow here, a little kneecap there. These kinds of movements and allowing your teammates to rotate fast, as we mentioned earlier, it bodes really well for Demise. So I'm actually impressed, and I actually do think they have a shot because they have such similar play styles as well, right?
For sure. And Melania, tell us our 3 reasons why we should be excited about this match. I have a feeling Tina's going to be part of that.
Kinda. There are 3 reasons why. Number 1 is that there is, of course, prep time tomorrow. They're going to have a day off. Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to use it to prep and be really prepared for the upcoming day. But perhaps a little bit speech time, who knows? Number 2 is because the surprising factor that Demise has, as we could have seen the map before, that Hellrose had really aggressive pushes that nobody expected, and it caught the enemy Copenhagen Flames really off guard, and that really helped them to get those really important rounds. The reputation is also on the line. That's number 3. Demise just picked up this. They got just picked up by this organization, and there's some reputation on the line. You know, they want to do well and be a good name for the organization, and also Dignitas has, of course, a big name. So they try to really defend and try to win this really important game.
Yeah, there's no doubt there is so much on the line because as you had just mentioned, despite the fact that Dignitas has been as successful as they are, they have a lot to prove now with the new addition of Thea. And we did see that she had a really standout performance on the first map of the day, but again, this is a new map. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm very, very interested to see how this map veto goes because as we saw in the Demise matchup earlier, that map veto was actually absolutely crucial because they landed on Nuke, which was clearly a map they were so much more comfortable on than the Flames were.
It definitely was, and going into this map veto, it's got to be curious because Demise kind of just really allowed Copenhagen, they hustled Copenhagen Flames in that map veto, and that's something we don't really see in best of ones. It hardly, rarely ever happens, but I do think we're going to see that more and more often, specifically because so many of these teams have a new fifth, and it's kind of unfortunate that they're coming into this tournament with these roster swaps and roster changes because I don't think we're seeing 100% from any of these teams yet so far today.
For sure.
It will be tomorrow with the best of three.
Hopefully, yeah.
So we're actually taking a look at the vetoes now. Interesting. So we actually see Dignitas are the ones that removed Nuke.
Like, no.
Maybe not to anyone's
We're not
surprise
getting
based on the
hustled.
performance that they showed earlier. But I'm very curious to see which map we're gonna end up on. Dust 2, interesting. All right, so it's the first time that we're seeing Dust 2 today. Based on what you know about Dignitas and Demise, do you think that there's a favorite side here?
You know, this is tricky because, you know, Dignitas used to claim for themselves that they were the Dust 2 Queens. And this was something that they titled, and they certainly were. I mean, they have a lot of practice on Dust 2. And I would say Dust 2 is a map that is so up in the air right now. With the AUG, although the AUG has been nerfed, and this tournament is using that nerfed AUG, Dust 2 is a map that you can still totally capitalize on the AUG because of the long distance. And you're going to be able to take a lot more duels and a lot more fights and feel a lot more comfortable with it with the scoped rifle.
Yeah, I think Dust 2 is going to be interesting. I know that Demise has been practicing this map forever and they're really well. They play really well on it. Kim, for sure, we need to check out Kim because she's going to be nuts with the AUG and take crazy shots and be also really aggressive.
For sure, and we're going to take a look at Dignitas first, as they are the first team that we're going to take a closer look at. And Dust 2, you know, honestly, I'm really excited because I feel like Dust 2 is a really good map for the star players to really shine. And Dignitas definitely has some star players. We'll see if Thea can continue the performance that we showed in that first map, and maybe she can have a standout performance here as well. But let's take a look at the players. What do you think is going to happen?
You know, we're going to see a lot of flashbangs too. I mean, we talked about CLG Red's flashbangs, and Melania, you said there was a lot of instances where they were flashing each other. Dust 2 is definitely a map. I think all the maps across the board right now, if you're not half blind when you're getting contact and you're not fighting under a half white screen, you're not doing it right. And that's just factual. I mean, these flashbangs need to be utilized specifically on a map like Dust 2. Long range battles, the AWP is definitely going to be a huge factor coming into this. So certainly both sides need to have their flashbangs down to kind of push the AWPer off the sides and be able to make space. I think Dust 2 is specifically a map that spacing is the most important. You want to be able to kind of close the gap, make your way closer and closer to the sites before you really pounce.
For sure, and I know that we just passed by Rain, Emily, and Thea. Out of all of those players, who do you think will be sort of the player to look out for? I know earlier we were talking about Tina from the side of Demise. Who would you say is the equivalent on the side of Dignitas?
I think Rain has been performing really well. She almost had a 30 bomb the other game, so I think she's going to be also really motivated and ready to play this game.
And we talked about Rain potentially kind of becoming the star of this lineup, right? Especially with Kath's departure. And we talk about those flashbangs. I mean, we saw Thea get perfectly set up earlier on in that match on Train, and she got a quick, easy 3K. So these are the kinds of plays that I'm expecting to see actually from both sides, and just being able to set players up. If you give Rain a flashbang and she's able to turn a corner, she's gonna get those kills. She's gonna be able to close out those rounds for Dignitas side of things. So definitely Rain for me as well.
For sure, and now we're going to take a look at Demise. And we saw Tina earlier today just have a really outstanding performance. When I spoke to Hellrose, she herself said, as soon as I saw how Tina was playing, I knew that we would win this map. So based on what you saw, I mean, do you think they have a strong chance?
They do. They always seem to surprise everyone at events and also online. I know that, as we all saw, Zonic has been really performing well and really aggressive. Hellrose keeps her, she's been keeping her calm a lot, so props for that. She's been really reading the opponents good, and I expect to see the same versus Dignitas as well.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, for Demise side of things, they were really mobile on that nuke. I mean, a lot of the times what ends up happening is once you get that contact, sometimes you just kind of freeze up and you turtle up. You just end up kind of holding the angle and nothing really happens, or you just kind of get owned around the corner. But Demise were actually very mobile. Each of these players were reacting more often than not very appropriately, and they were moving across the map consistently. So I think Dust 2 being as large of a map as it is, that's definitely going to be a factor. Hopefully these ladies are able to make it from, I mean, that CT spawn, there's going to be so much traffic going back and forth from that CT spawn side.
And speaking of that mobility, do you think that's something that we might potentially see from Dignitas' side as well? Or do you think, based on what you've seen from Dignitas' playstyle, not so much?
It's tough to say, right? I think both of these teams have a very similar playstyle. They're both very slow, very methodical, and they put a lot of emphasis on their prep. So this means we're probably going to see a lot of set pieces, I think. We're going to see a lot of set pieces, and we may see a lot of time, the timer going down. I don't think we're going to see much aggression. If we're going to see aggression, I'm thinking Demise probably. Melania, you mentioned that they were consistently remixing and kind of
I'm
pushing.
sure that they're going to do like some crazy smokes, drop down CT base and try to flank B side, things like this. But in general, I think this is going to be also like close to 0 and just last minute executions.
And Melania, can you touch a little bit on sort of the journey that this Demise roster has had? Because earlier this year, we did see them make some roster changes, and then they reverted back. And in fact, one of the players that was part of that roster change was the player that we've seen impactful today. It was Tina or Zonic. So, I mean, just talk about their journey.
Yeah, they have been playing for a long time together, mainly this roster. Kim was playing in a different team back then. During Copenhagen Games, they decided to swap around, and Vic and Jinjin, who was inactive, she played the op. They came in to play at Copenhagen Games. Unfortunately, they didn't have the results they expected, and I think that's why after the Copenhagen Games, they swapped back to Sonic and Bullet.
Well, at least from what we saw today, at least against their map against the Flames, their team is looking really, really good. So this predictions should be a little bit spicier. Potter, I'm going to put you on the spot first. What are your predictions?
I'm impressed with Demise thus far. Really, really, really impressed. But I got to go with Dignitas. I think they should be able to beat this. On paper, everything tells me that they should be able to win, so I'll go with Dignitas.
What about you, Melania?
I think I'm going to go for a Demise. I mean, the best of ones, they're really strong at that. If it would have been a best of 3, I would assume Dignitas, but they've been, they are also like motivated right now. They just won in the last map. So I think that will give them the extra little bit to perhaps get this game as well.
For sure, and I think one thing that really stood out to me about Demise specifically was how passionate they got. Every time they won a round, they were so loud. When they actually won the entire map, they were ecstatic.
The loudest.
Exactly. So going purely based off of passion and the momentum that comes with that, I'm also going to shoot for the moon and shoot for Demise. We'll see if Dignitas is able to continue the performance of that. Maybe it's going to be them, but that is going to be my prediction. But let's hear what you guys thought in the chat, whether you were thinking it was going to be Dignitas or Demise, and it looks like
even?
I know, last time it was 50-50%.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, it
Wow.
is. Twitch chat, you guys are really surprising us today.
Yeah, I mean,
52 to 48.
They're just as confused as I am, I think.
But yeah, enough from us. Let's head over to the casters and hear what their thoughts are. What are you guys thinking?
Well, I think I've never seen such an even-keeled Twitch chat ever.
I mean, listening to Twitch, I love them, but listening to them for predictions is kind of stretching it, if you ask me. I'm going to go with Dignitas here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do the same thing here just because of what they've brought to the table as a collective. But, as Potter said, with what Demise brought to the table earlier, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt this is going to be a very close winners match. Guys, take it away.
All right. And I must say, Dust 2, I love watching games here because it feels like the no excuses map, right? Everyone should be comfortable here, so it comes down to your coordination as a team and that strategic advantage that you have.
Yeah, to be honest though, I'm a little surprised Dignitas allowed it to go to Dust 2 because that's a map where the upsets can really happen, right? This is a map where if you're the underdog, you're going to be feeling very happy about this. If I was a Demise right now, they are going to be feeling extremely comfortable. Nuke, remember, was kind of like I think Potter mentioned, they conned their opponents into playing that map. They managed to get the win there. And now Dust 2, this is a map where they can kind of shine, where all the firepower can catch Dignitas off guard. But then again, it is Dignitas. They're a team who've been looking very, very solid throughout the entire year. They are one of the firm favorites. Their first matchup was a very convincing win, I think 16-2 or 16-3 on Train. But then again, this lineup hasn't really played Dust 2 that much. So I'm a little surprised they allowed this map through.
Yeah, they've been working so diligently leading up to Valencia. They've had lots of boot camps, had a media tour, even went and trained in the Philadelphia 76ers, which I'm not the biggest fan of that team, being an NBA fanatic myself, but I'm sure they got what they needed to feel prepared for this match today.
Oh yeah, I mean, for every one of the teams coming in today, right? You have the favorites, you have the underdogs. I think everyone's going to be bringing their A game, so to speak. Looking at this map, though, I find it very interesting that here, if you look at just the distribution of, I wouldn't say firepower, but the roles, Demise have Bullet Girl and Kim in the op list, right? Bullet Girl, of course, being the primary opper, but Kim can wield the op as well, so the dual op setup could be something which could be a problem for Dignitas, where we do have Emily, who is the primary opera, so to speak, and I'm sure a couple of these other players can wield it as well, but that could be the deciding factor, the CD side especially, if Demise can shut it down, if they can get the dual op thing going, if they can start getting the economy rolling, we could potentially see an upset here. I think this is going to be one of the closer games we've seen so far today.
And both of these teams are the first teams to take the stage that have done so once already today. Yeah. Everyone else has been their fresh time here in Valencia up there. So are there any players that didn't pop off earlier in their matches that you expect to maybe see step it up here in this one?
Kind of felt like for Dignitas, they didn't really have to do much. Thea had a great game, but their opposition was, to be very blunt, it wasn't really on their level, right? They had a very easy time, so it's very hard to gauge who had a rough game there because 16-2, 16-3 is a very convincing scoreline, and there are only so many frags you can really go for. For Demise, though, I think Tina had a great game. Zonic, Tina, I think she's going with her real name now. I think she had a really good game. The rest of the team, I think they all kind of like played their role. No one really popped off apart from Tina, but I felt like as long as they're doing the roles right, like Heldrose, for example, like she was very instrumental in getting a lot of crucial kills. Yes, she wasn't top fragging, but I think as a whole, they look pretty promising, with the caveat that I kind of felt like that they were allowed to make a lot of plays which shouldn't have been possible, because Copenhagen Flames, they kind of fell short, in my opinion. I think they were the favorites there, but they made too many mistakes, which got taken advantage of by the girls over in Demise. So for Dignitas, I think they're a more stronger unit. So this upset's going to be harder, but then a map like Dust 2 makes it possible.
Yeah, we'll have to see kind of what mental space they're coming into this match with, because not entirely sure going into their one earlier today how confident they were feeling, if they felt it was guaranteed for them to be moving on, or if they kind of had that feeling. It felt a little handed over to us, but now they're going against Dignitas, who you just can't ignore as a very powerful opponent here in DreamHack. But we're about to get going on Dust 2 for our first winners match of the day. So somebody's gonna get to relax in the sun or at their computer all day tomorrow.
Yeah, you want that going for you, don't you? As we do have Rain, one of the biggest names we have, not just in the server, but in the tournament. And of course, it's going to be a fast play towards lower tunnels. Look at the pace being set by Demise here. They are going in for the place. Milk trying to go for a jump spot. Thea should be falling back. This is interesting with Demise, who made so much presence towards lower tunnels. It's all around the world. They're going for a classic play here, showing themselves towards lower tunnels, and now making their way towards long, where there's no one ready and waiting. This is interesting from Demise.
Ring around the rosy, pockets full of bullets to rain on the competition as Nessa tries to go for some shots and gets one before going down, getting taken out. Dignitas with a couple frags of their own, but Milk brought down to a single HP to try to survive this engage.
This is mental from Demise. They fall back towards mid, and this time, unfortunately, there were so many CTs waiting for them. But like you mentioned, Milk on 1 HP. She needs to play this one a little bit more safer, and she's going to be playing all the way from Goose, a classic position. Now for Demise, they've been to lower tunnels, they've been to long, they've been to mid. Now they're going to be heading back towards the B bomb site by the looks of it, with 45 seconds remaining on the clock. And this is all about timing. Look at the player towards lower tunnels. If Thea makes her way towards tunnels, she could catch him off guard. Unfortunately for Dignitas, she's going to be going towards short. That means, but they're going to be coming towards short as well. Demise just what is even going on here?
They want to get their cardio in. They got to get them steps. So instead, they're rotating back over towards mid, where they'll run into Thea, who's backing up catwalk towards A, sending down the smoke to try and get another pistol shot. But there's the lean down from Hellrose to finish off with the Glock. And now it is the 1v2 as Demise around the corner. Try to plant the bomb or at least fake it. And there's the answer. Emelite with the sweet hits to finish off the pistol round.
That was the most strangest pistol round I've ever seen.
It felt like a tour. Like, let's see this side. And on this side, we have what used to be Palm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little flustered here because I really don't know what they were thinking. It could have worked out, but I kind of felt like they overdid it. It kind of felt like they could have gone towards long. Long was completely empty. They could have taken that fight, then when it went back towards mid, and then go towards tunnels, and then go towards short. That is probably pushing your luck a little too far. And in the end, Milk doing a very good job there, just staying alive towards Goose and getting the kill. Or else it could have easily, definitely gone the way of Demise as well. But an interesting pistol round to start what I believe is going to be one absolutely insane map.
I think the thing that felt the weirdest about it was when they finally did rotate over towards A for a potential plant. It felt like something that was forced by the competition, but it was what they put themselves in. But we're getting ready in round number 2. Already a little cheap sniper action going on to watch over mid. Not the same rotation as before, though.
Yeah, a little bit of a semblance of logic has been instilled in the game. Here's Demise on their first buy. They have, of course, gone for the full investment. Emelite should be careful. She's going to be facing a lot of players. Art with the M4A1. She should be worried as well. This is a one-and-done spot, and it's going to be Nesta with a beautiful 1D. Reply comes in with Thea. Milk down there with the MP9. Not the best of positions. Doesn't find anything as Nesta continues a reign of terror. And now to 3v2. Bomb should get planted as well.
The stack continues past Cad, but here are CTs ready and waiting. Rain gets the shot onto Bullet Girl, so you still have the 2 Ts ready to try and defend this as much as possible and prevent the retake. And there's the shot. Rain rotates up, but a final hits to take him out as Ts walk away with not just a victory, but the screams to match.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it on the stream, but these ladies are really, really loud. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
So much of passion. As, the force buy works out. Again, a little bit of a mistake I felt like from Dignitas, where they had a player up short and get out in the open. And there's 2 players towards short. They needed to get more than just 1 kill before getting taken down, right? And some great shots, mind you, coming up from Nessa with a deagle. And attack onto Emelite with Bullet Girl. I love that name.
It's so great. Sounds just like a superhero. More of a split from Demise this time around. Flash goes down and Rain with it. So it's 1 taken away for Dignitas. And here comes some more. Hellrose and Kim wiped off the table as Dignitas bring this to a 3v3. Side of the head is where the slap goes.
This is so strange from both the teams. But then Dignitas pushing in through every angle possible as Art pushes out towards short, catching Bullet Girl and leaving it all to Nessa, who had a great round previously, but now it's a 1v3. She's got a weaponry. She's got the M4A1. She has a Molotov and a flashbang to work with as well. The bomb's going to get planted, but this retake should be very, very doable for Dignitas. They don't have a kit, however. They need to make haste. Art, again, facing all alone. There was no need for her to go for that. And now Nessa should be careful, looks the wrong way, but gets the spray right. It's a 1v1 now. And Nessa is going to get the 1v3, clutches it out.
I thought she was done for in that moment when she looked over in the left direction and then back towards Cat, was able to pick it up. But 1v1 to finish it off. For
Again, a misplay from Dignitas, right? It's a 1v3. Why are you facing alone? I think it was Art who walked out before Milk was not in any good position. She could have waited a bit more, wait for Emily to make her way from CD spawn, peeked her together. Sure, she might have got 1 kill, but giving 3 separate 1v1s, that's not ideal. And yeah, what a round from Nessa, though. You give her an inch, she's going to take the mile.
And those are the kind of rounds that you can, just to keep your mentality right, wipe it off and say, okay, we made a couple mistakes, but they're correctable, moving on. But then later, if it gets too close within the scoreboard, you're looking back at those and saying, if we just picked that up, if we didn't allow them to gain some kind of momentum or fill their bank, then we could be in a different position. But still very early.
Still very early, and the good thing is, if you know where you messed up, it's easy to fix. What's scary is when you're losing and you don't know what you're doing wrong. That's a very rough spot to be in. A full eco for Dignitas. They do have a few upgraded pistols, a couple of P250s in the mix, a couple of flashbangs. And they do have a pretty heavy presence towards Cat and mid. However, Demise are taking this much more slower. We do see Kim, I like this, you know, the one with the Mac 10, going on a fact-finding mission, figuring out where players are. She knows there's someone in the smoke. That is so smart from Kim. Catches Amelie, and she knows now that the A bomb site is theirs for the taking, but they're going to be going towards B, and Kim's going to be going to make some money with that Mac 10.
Money, money, money is a great thing with any of the SMGs. There's the bomb plant over on B side. Really difficult with all the points of entry to watch it, but they have plenty funneled in. Here's some shots onto Artstar. Might get the next one on CT, but instead Rain with the P250 finds Kim. Planted though. So right here from window, Hellrose has a great angle, smoked out over in CT spawn. So that's where Dignitas are waiting and lying, but Thea's the last one standing.
Hellrose, pretty sharp shots. Yes, these are anti-ecos, but 3 nice headshots coming in from her. And 3-1 for Demise. They're looking solid. I like that. I like the fact they put the Macton on Kim. They knew it was going to be an eco. They thought it would probably be a stack. And they just sent her up to a fact-finding mission towards A. Empty bomb site. And they knew the rotation was going to take place towards A. They went to B. They played that to perfection. And losing just at 1 Mac 10, that's great for the economy as well. However, the buy is going to be coming in for Dignitas. No op this time around.
No op indeed. We're going into the next round as the bomb makes its way through the long doors. Thea's watching on that side, but that's the quick burn down, so no Kim, no Artstar for the time being. But a close watch here on A site, because they know that they're coming. Molly thrown to the back, and a shot to the head from Hellrose. Emily is watching the site, seeing who she can catch out of the smoke, manages to find one over the angle of the boxes, finds a second one, has to reload before she pops on out, but they're about to get the crossfire. She gets another one, and caught off on the other side. Her teammates got her back, so Rain with the pain, and Dignitas bring it out.
That was such a good hold coming out from her. But again, I mean, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy here, but too many 1v1s again being given out. But this was a rough spot for Emily to be in. Getting those 3 kills, doing such a good job staying alive, and she has such a good read in how they're peeking her as well. And there you go. They managed to get a second round on board. For Demise, however, because they had such a great couple of rounds, they have all the money in the world to go for whatever buy they want. What's interesting is, though, they didn't go for the op. I thought Bullet Girl would probably go for the AWP buy. She had the money.
Still waiting on it. Maybe want to get their footing a bit better before they make too heavy of an investment, potentially. But I don't know. Could have been great for the long sites, especially considering the rotations we saw last time. And they already tried to preemptively take care of that with the early utility by the long doors, since that is where the bomb is moving from once again. Luckily, they do have Thea over in the hit plat. Pick one up, picks up another. Can she get the third? The burn down just ting, ting, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. I got you from the door.
That was so well done, and she was all alone, by the way. There was no backup possible. If she got taken down, there was no immediate trade potential. And now, Kim, Milk.
Super clean, man.
Trade comes in as well. Rain was there. Hellrose not checking. Goose is a player right behind, and Art will assassinate her from behind. What a nice hold from Thea. She had such a great game in train, and now she is starting to pop off. That was a good hold from her.
And this is a great moment for her to show off the skill, too. She's been around for a bit, and seeing how clean this is. And on this stage, when you're trusted in that way from your team to be the only one holding a potentially very dangerous rotation from Tease, you say, oh, I got him. It's all good on this side. You take care of the rest. Then still is a lot of confidence from the rest of your team who haven't been playing with you consistently for a while.
Yeah, and with that round, and considering they just lost 1 player as well, they have broken the economy for Demise, who are now down to Glocks. A couple of Tech 9s and Deagles, as they would be looking to explode out long. Emily's ready and waiting. She's going to find one, calling for backup. You can see Thea making a way there. Will she reach in time? Nice flashbang to prevent them from overrunning her captain, and Thea just mowing down the remaining pieces. Triple kill for her again. And that's going to be Dignitas back in action. Not a single casualty that round, and that's going to definitely help their economy.
Again with the triple over, not the same angle, but the same place. And I'm loving the teamwork that we know and love from Dignitas is starting to come fully online in these last 3 rounds. Whether it be Emily leading with some frags and then the follow-up from the rest of the team, or even just some of these rotations. It's been pretty spectacular, and they're starting to feel themselves out.
Yeah, and for Demise, ooh, I like this. This is fast from them. And they're reacting. They're reacting to the fact that Dignitas like setting up 2 players on block early on, but they're going to be going for the B plane. Milk with the spray down. Oh, that's rough. The bomb's down as well. Milk should be careful, but Rain is there. But they can take it on Nessa with 2 quick kills at the B bomb site. Taken over by Demise. They're going to get the bomb down as well. 3v3 rotation already in place, and look at Art already making a presence felt before the bomb even gets planted. This is going to be a rough retake.
She's trying to do her best to peek out and get some kind of damage on down, but it's difficult from these angles, and with the utility that's still available to them, maybe they can make something happen since Demise don't have that on their side. But starting to rotate in through window, there goes two at the hand of Kim. Bullet Girl picking one up as well, and Demise feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah, I really love the reactions from,
Yeah,
from
so great.
Demise. They're like so passionate about this, and that was a round it kind of felt like Dignitas had in the bag. Their Milk picked up a double kill, but this opening, what a shot by Nessa! Just destroys Rain and immediately finds Milk hiding behind the car. And just a very good return from them. Very confident plays, and I think that's what's going to be, you know, the winning factor for Demise. If they continue these sort of like proactive plays and, you know, just very confident plays, it's going to work out. But then again, Dignitas are not going to be sitting back and, you know, just being too passive. Emily opening things up and just peeking down a bit.
She does love that op, but fire all the way across Cat is going to prevent this rotation over from T side, as Artstar and Thea both try to watch that angle. Here's the attempt from Tina. The attempt is stopped, and Bullet Girl too ends up falling to a bullet against her, as Nessa now the only one remaining way far from the bomb itself.
Yeah, and she has too much to do here, if you ask me. 1v4, nice flashbang coming out to ensure that she has a rough spot. They don't really need to go for these deals. They know they have a trap. They can go in a little late, hunt her down, and you can see already two players ready and waiting for her from behind. There is no escape from her. And for Dignitas, it's going to be them taking the lead once more.
They're ready to give her a big hug outside those doors, just not the kind of hug that is a good one.
The hug of death.
Yeah, the hug of death, that's right. So Dignitas pulled themselves ahead. It was previously tied going into that round. And interestingly enough, so if you think about a team like Demise, we talked about it's great, they have this energy, they're yelling after their pickup rounds, and it's the kind of thing that can work for you, especially with an emotional IGL as Hellrose tends to be. But if you fall off of that and then start to get punished, it can have an extremely detrimental effect. So they have to keep that up.
Absolutely, and that's when experience really does pay out, right? When things aren't really working out, the ability to maintain a composure and close it out. For the time being, though, it is going to be pretty much a half buy, well, pretty much an eco, a few deagles coming out from Demise. They're going to be heading towards B. Not really going for the B split, 4 players there. Milk in a one and done spot. She's got to find a lot of kills. She finds just 2 before she gets taken down, but Rain is there to hold down the fort with an AK-47. Finds Kim. And she is going to get pressured, but that's all right. Thea picks up the floater on Hellrose, was towards mid, and a pretty clean round, all things considered.
Yeah, you know, get some action, then right there in the end, you see the rotation coming through window, so you clean it off. And Dignitas are looking kind of in that way that a lot of people expected to them. If you look at the last couple of rounds, clean play, default actions, nothing too crazy. They knew they were going against an eco round, so they didn't have to worry too much about any firepower. Different this round, though.
Different this time, and we have the op coming out in the hands of Emily, the primary opper of the team.
Bullet Girl, too.
Let's see what happens. Bullet Girl's been kind of very, very quiet with the op, or generally in this game so far, hasn't been too impactful. And especially as an opper on a map like Dust 2, you need to be a little bit more instrumental in getting this opening picks. Thea, once again, getting challenged. This time, she doesn't win the duels. She's going to get taken down, and that's the problem with that position. If you're all alone and you don't get any kill to get taken down, there's no trade taking place, because the closest player was, I think it was Art, who was all the way towards the A bomb site. And there we go, the B bomb site's been taken over. They have a play towards tunnels though, and it could be Milk who could be a problem here. Finds Kim, just shutting it down all over the low, so much damage, but unfortunately doesn't get the kill.
Everybody else was there, all but one, ready to try and find her. So Emily is forced to rotate this way with the op. There are too many Ts, and it's difficult when you're facing off against that many with a weapon like this. So the rotation is forced from her teammate, bringing through from the CT line, but Hellrose ends up getting taken out by Emily with that long line of sight. Can she continue with more?
You can't whiff those, but then Tina and Nessa are there to pick it up. That was a free kill for Hellrose, and she's got to be a little ticked off about missing that one. But you know what? All things said, it's fine. They get the round, and I think they might have figured out the tiny little holes that Dignitas have from this setup, right? Firstly, they are kind of telegraphing the fact that Thea is playing all by her lonesome towards long, and in a couple of well-placed flashbangs, a couple of maybe a nice smoke could be a problem and could definitely be a problem for Thea, and you can see that there's an immediate response from Dignitas. Now they're not playing anyone towards long. They have an aggro set towards mid, and Kim just running out. I'm a little surprised she went in for that fight without any flash support.
Yeah. Interesting. Whereas on the other side, Milk was ready and had utility of her own. There's a big old headshot on Rain after she gets the burn down, so good trade kill.
That is so smart. That is so smart from Demise. They forced a reaction out, and Emily's got the up close. She needs to land a shot, but Nessa with the flick around 180 kill. Art does reply back, but now it's a 2v2.
I feel a tickle in the back of my shoulders. Who might that be? Oh, let me take care of you there. It is the 2v2 indeed, and currently it's Dignitas that has hold of B site, with Milk continuing to keep this position. And we know the bomb is coming through the tunnels, and she's going to get aggressive right now to try and get the pick before they can make it. Gets it onto Bullet Girl, is looking for one more, and manages to find it in full effect.
I think it was Art who came in from lower tunnels, but a nice pincer, all things considered. I really like what Demise did that round, even though they lost it. Once they got the kill onto the B bomb side, they didn't over-aggress. They fell back, and that actually forced out a rotation from the two CDs towards shot. And this shot, that is just insane. That is insane from Nessa.
Where are you at? Where are you at? There you are. Boom. In the book.
Nice little flick there from Art. Spots out the shoulder, the bait coming out, but I don't think she's going to really take the fight. The smoke's not that great, though, and Art, unfortunately, doesn't quite land the kill shot, but she's done the damage. She's going to get pressurized here.
Oh, nice one on to Kim. Back onto the pistol before she rotates. So currently, only 3 people from Demise already.
Yeah, but the quick replies do come back. Now it's a 3v3 again, but they have spotted the bomb towards tunnels. Oh, Nessa's pushed up so deep. I don't think she's going to be ready for this. She's going to go for the reload, though. Thea, who's going to spot each other out? But Nessa with a beautiful shot on Thea, who didn't have any head armor by the looks of it. And the Galil is going to do it for her.
That's all it took. But now there's still 3 Ts ready to rotate. Already sitting on A site, the bomb trying to get planted. There it goes.
That was so risky going for that plan. Art could have got that frag.
Oh, no. Let's see if they end up rotating in. They're slowly moving up the CT ramp. Nessa's taking the back angle, burns down one, and there you have it, finished off. So Demise pick up another round.
This game has been so very fast-paced, and I can't wait to see like the desk break it down later on. It's just been aggression, micro-aggressions from both the teams, and right now you can see like it kind of feels like Dignitas find themselves in a good position, and then it just doesn't work. Like, for example, here, Thea, if she got that skill onto Nessa, that would have been pretty much a round, because they had the man advantage. They would have had control of the bomb side as well. It's just the small little things not working out in their favor. But kudos to Demise. They are the underdogs here, and they're really applying the pressure on Dignitas. Penultimate round the first half, and it's 7-6, and they're in eco. Demise could very well get the lead going into the second half here.
And the way that they've been handling themselves, even if they fall down in players early, has been really great, because sometimes other teams might collapse under that pressure and say, we've already kind of given up the rounds. But here they say, no, it's okay. We'll get them on their rotations and bring this back into our control.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even this round in particular, right? They don't know if it's a forced buy or if it's an eco, and they're playing their default so well. They're waiting for Dignitas to be aggressive. They get the first kill here, spot the player out. I think there was a fadeaway shot into Art, and you can see the smoke coming into a CD spawn. They're playing this so very well.
There comes the utility from afar, and on Cat, there's a CT beacon. Thea finds a shot with the P250, but Nessa knows she's there and will throw out some utility of her own. The prioritization is the objective for the time being, so Hellrose will be dealing over by the long doors with 2 taken away, and now it's just the 1v4, all on Thea's shoulders, but probably just going to go ahead and hang back.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really have anything to lose, right? Even if she does lose, there's a P250, she's got no armor. Might be looking to inflict a little bit of damage on the economy, because Hellrose is kind of broke. Bullet Girl as well has no cash to work with, so any damage she inflicts here could be helpful, at least for Demise. So let's see what she does. I think she's just going to stick on around. And Demise knows this. They know their money's not exactly the best. They're not really going for the hunt either. Thea's just looking to be cheeky here, but I think she'll escape, yeah.
Was thinking about it, should I go in, but without knowing exactly where they were too, then she decides to just sit on back. So Demise now tying it back up. This has been a really tight game so far.
Oh yeah, I honestly don't know which direction this game is really going to go. One would have expected Dignitas to be obviously the favorites here, and they look like it. I like the setups they had, the adaptations they had, but Demise just keeps surprising us, right? They did it on Nuke, and right now some of the plays, especially that pistol round, was absolutely ridiculous. But hey, if it works, it works.
Going into round 15, Dignitas don't have the full loadout like Demise, but Artstar falls early. Did manage to help out Thea to finish off the kill onto Hellrose with the trade, so...
Hellrose is pushing up short real quickly, forcing a rotation, leaving Rain all alone. MP5 at that range could have at least got a kill, but it doesn't. Rain will fall. The Molotov, the smokes are going to be deployed as well. A little bit of a failed Molotov there. And they're going to go for the plan. Milk, is he going to push on in? Ew, no, she doesn't.
So close, she's hanging on the outside. They know the bomb's been planted. Now, how are you gonna make this play happen? Looking over at the utility, you have a flash, smoke, and Molly all ready to go if needed. But Kim and Tina are holding on to this the best they can. There's a rotation from Thea coming over through tunnels, though, that they have to be very careful for. There goes Milk down into the grave.
Kim, 1v1, though. This could actually go the way of Thea, but Kim's going to clutch it out, the 1v2. And it happened. It happened. They managed to get the lead going to the second half.
And if you look at the players individually over on Demise, they have demonstrated time and time again a great chance to close out. But that's just the first half that we have, so we'll be right back with the second half soon enough.
We will stand our ground.
Welcome back, everybody, to the DreamHack Showdown here in Valencia, Spain. We are going into our second half of Dignitas and Demise, and bleh, whoo, it has been a close one.
It has been a very interesting one. I've seen things I've never seen before in Counter-Strike, and that is fun. Especially Demise. I mean, I love how proactive they are with the way they approach a T side. They were, the second they knew how Dignitas had their A setup, for example, they had immediate reactions. And aggression coming out from them towards short. Nessa's gonna take the fight, and meanwhile, her player's walking up towards Cat, and it's gonna be Hellrose winning the duel with a P2K, looking for more, finds a double kill, and she's gonna look for more. Milk does reply back by finding Nessa.
The two of the three T's still going to play over from Tunnel and manage to find one onto Bullet Girl. But nonetheless, it's the 3v2 and still having to make some kind of movement over with the bomb with the CTs holding onto that B side. But Artstar picks it up onto Kim. Maybe another one here too from Tina. There you go.
It's all on Art as she does find Tina. 1v1 against Hellrose has already picked up a double, but she's so far away. All the way towards long, so Art will have all the time in the world to get the bomb down, get herself in a more comfortable position. She's got a USP as well, and bullets galore. Who's going to win this one, though?
She instead wants to see if she can find the shot before they find her, so Artstar picks it up, and Dignitas bring it back to an 8-8 tie.
Again, Demise just kind of throwing caution to the winds and just going for this hyper-aggressive plays. And again, that almost worked out. Art, though, pushing in from CD spawn. She was the floater, she was the lurker, gets that first kill, wins the duel against Tina, and this is a very ballsy angle to take. Hey, but if you win it, you win it.
I really liked that choice because a lot would opt to just kind of hang back and wait for the rotation.
I would have as well, yeah.
Yeah, but it worked out for her. It's the kind of thing that if it doesn't work out, you get severely punished. But here we are in the next round. Oh, it's been so tight the entire way through. And more of a tunnels prioritization from Dignitas, it seems, than Demise.
Oh, yeah. They are playing this a little bit more standard compared to how Demise played it. Like, you see the 2 players towards tunnels. You have 2 players making their way up cat. I do believe, I'm not sure who that is. I think that is Art just holding towards the long as Nessa is getting pressurized. She's got backup in the form of a teammate, and Emily's gonna be isolated, and that's gonna be 2 kills for Nessa. That is huge as attack comes in from Bullet Girl, who's been having a very, very quiet game so far, sitting only on 3 kills. But now, she can try and step it up and make up for what has been a kind of a quiet half here. But 3v3, and these 2 scouts are gonna be a little rough to hold on to the bomb.
The rest of the T's are rotating over through CT mid towards that B site. Now Rain is in dangerous territory at 30 HP. Will she be leading in? The flash is to try and do it, but Rain picks it up before getting taken out by Tina. Now it's the 2v2 with 2 T's on site and the CT's rotating.
Yeah, and they have no smoke to keep the CTs at bay. They have used up one of theirs, but with the bomb getting planted and both the CTs retaking this together, I like the fact that Tina and Bullet Girl have teamed up to make this more possible. They have a kit as well, mind you, so it is very viable indeed. No utility whatsoever, though, to work with. So they will have to just go in, steamroll their way in. Final flashbang being tossed in by the T's to peek towards tunnels. So now they know it's going to be coming in from window or the door. Now they know where the final player is. Bullet Girl with a nice shot, but does she know where Thea is? Yes, she does! And she clutches it out with a USP. Got the kid as well. No problem whatsoever. And I said she's been having a rough game, but what a way to make up for it.
She didn't like that you said that, Blash. She didn't like it at all.
Hey, if that works, if that's what it takes, hell yeah. That was amazing.
That was superb in the way she was rotating through. You can see that peek. First gets the kill onto Artstar, and then immediately looks down to where she knows her competition is. So
the double dink coming in from the USP. That was so well played by her. And now Demise, they win their force buy. And that's going to force Dignitas to, let's see what they go with here. They've called for a timeout, have Demise, a tactical timeout. But for Dignitas, they got the bomb down. So they're going to be going for the force buy here. Not the best of buys, but hey, it is Dust 2, right? You've seen how these pistols can really reign supreme, or even the Scout at times, so let's see what they do with this.
And when it's a close game like this, 8-9, you can't really afford to write off so many rounds based on what you're walking in with loadout-wise. So it's more thinking, okay, whatever they happen to be rushing out with, let's see what we can do about it. And we'll have to find out in just a moment's time. Round number 18 as Demise prioritizes holding over onto long while the bomb slowly moves its way through tunnels.
Yeah, Dignitas have been playing this pretty default-ish, where they go towards lower tunnels. They usually have a player up mid, where this time around it's Emily with the Scout, and she is playing all the way from Suicide. And for Demise, a pretty standard setup. They have the 1 player towards long, 1 towards Cobb. That is Bullet Girl with the AUG. And here they come walking out. Contact with Kim is going to get 3 kills here. Galore 1, 2, doesn't get a 3rd, but that's okay. Heller is going to finish off Milk with the nade. Looking for more, and burning alive is Emily, but she can't go back because of the flames blocking her exit path, and it's going to be all in Rain. 1v3 with the MAC-10 and a dream on her lips.
Tapped the toes to get out of that fire. And Rain, do you think that she has what it takes to try and make this happen, or?
She has what it takes, but a MAC-10 from this position at that range against Bullet Girl, yeah, with that AUG, no, you're not gonna win this one.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to go against with very little to work with on your side. Nothing but your own good shot. Bullet Girl finds it. And she's sticking with the AUG here. Pretty much everything that she's been playing has been scoped and starting to get some more frags online.
Yeah, I mean, the AUG is still very much a viable weapon, right? It might not be the beast that it was once upon a time, but it is still a gun, especially when it comes to these mid-range duels that you want to take. You can definitely use it. And it's interesting, because even though sometimes you don't feel it as an opper, you don't really feel it with the AWP or the Scout. The AUG's right there, and it's a scoped weapon. Sure, it's not as powerful as the AWP, but it is very forgiving indeed, as we do see. It's an eco round, kind of a failed Molotov there. Ugh, that's messy.
Luckily, Rain was able to get the trade. And this is tough for Dignitas because you definitely don't have the economy for it, but don't want to drop any rounds.
Oh, I love this reaction from Hellroses. Immediately walks up mid, gets a free kill, falls on back. There's no need to over-aggress. Now they're looking for her. They're like, where did she even go? But she's pulled a Houdini on them. But she's still ready and waiting to strike the second they make the presence felt towards short.
With the help of Xbox, just finding that cover. And now Dignitas, they don't know she's there, so they're slowly making their way up towards Cat. There's a sight from Kim over by Car that should be very viable. Unfortunately, she gets taken out, but she does get Thea in the process. The bomb is located on a site and ready to be planted, so it goes down, but Demise are ready to try and make this happen. Bullet Girl with a double with the AUG, and now moving on through. This will be a good round for Demise.
Oh yeah, a win's a win. They just lose 2 SMGs, I do believe it was, so that's all right. For Dignitas though, that is kind of mission accomplished. They get 2 kills. It was a very light investment with their utility. I think they had, a smoke apiece, something like that, a couple of flashbangs, and they get a bomb plan out of it, right? So they're going to be pretty happy. I think both the teams are happy with the way that particular round played out, but Demise now with the lead 11-8. They have been kind of the giant killers today, haven't they?
Is this the largest lead we've seen in the game, technically, round-wise?
No, we did have those stomps earlier. Are you talking about right now?
No, this game. No, this game.
Yeah, this I think has been the biggest lead so far. It's been, well, there was a 3-1 initially where Demise had the lead, but apart from that, it has been so very back and forth.
It's crazy. And, I mean, coming into this round, Dignitas should be a bit more confident with what they're bringing to the table. They've got that op onto Emily, the full AK lineup for the rest. A little damage taken onto Thea, but Artstar is eliminated by Nessa over towards those long doors. And here's the pressure onto Cat with the mollies going down. Utility thrown back side to side. Milk tries to get the burn down. Bullet Girl picked one up. And now Rain and Artstar are the ones down for Dignitas' side.
Yeah, Demise getting those kills, not getting traded. That is as ideal as it can get. And now Dignitas, they're so desperate to get at least one opening pick. Hellrose, I felt like could have been taken down, but unfortunately the spray not quite working out for Thea. But now they're going to be heading towards B, where again, there's one player there, but she has backup in the form of, I do believe, Bullet Girl. And Tina peeks on out. She finds a kill, but a trade will come in immediately. One player remains, Emily in a 1v4.
She's just sticking over on the site with the bomb. Do the best she can to get this planted and then maybe positioned differently. But you've got 4 CTs that are going to come in. And I like to think of all of these players as heroes, but that would be a ridiculously hero play to make that work.
Yeah, I like how patient they are as well. They're all pushing in together. Emily does find one though, but won't get anything else done. Hellrose will get the immediate trade. 12-8 for Demise. They are slowly but surely increasing the lead, and also because they haven't lost too many players in this round, so they're winning. Their money's looking pretty decent as well. I think 3 players on an average about like 4 to 5K, so they're in no immediate danger of getting immediately reset economy-wise, and that's great for them. This is a great placing for them to kind of close out this game. Who would have thought of it? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, with the way both of these teams played earlier, we were thinking there would be a lot of friction, but this has been crazy insane from Demise, especially going against the very strategic team.
And that's the problem with Dust 2. I did have my worries with the fact that Dignitas allowed it through. It's a map where if your opponent, even if they're underdogs, if they start going on it, and they start hitting the shots and they start building this momentum, it can get very hard indeed, even if you're the favorites, even if you have all the firepower and all the tactics and whatnot. And Demise, they're taking advantage of that fact.
And in this moment, they're not doing anything too crazy, holding very just default, a couple over on B, one at Car and Long, and then you have over sitting in Goose area. So Dignitas have to figure out how they want to rotate away with this. And it looks like a couple of them are going to try to make their way through the long doors, but they have to be careful with that CT waiting over in pit. Here is all utility that you could love coming on down through here as Nessa peeks up from pit to try to finish it off. She manages to get one. Can she get another Bullet Girl eliminated off the map? And now Dignitas just brought into the grave one by one, and the screams ensue as Demise send them on their own demise.
Nessa has been spectacular this entire game. Like the way she played pit here, right? Waits for the flashbang from a teammate. The second the flash pops, she gets the kill. Then Bullet Girl pushes out from the smoke. And a second, the Dignitas' attention is diverted towards Bullet Girl. She peeks out, gets a spray right, took 3 kills for her that round. And right now, she's sitting pretty in 24 frags in just 22 rounds. That is huge from her. Fast play towards B coming out, though. And this could be a massacre.
Dignitas has to make something happen, but here's their attempt to do so. Thea looking over back towards Gauntlet to pick one up, but Tina gets the double kill. She is punished by Artstar, but Milk with a great shot on the P250. So 3Ts still stand on to this point as the 2Ts rotate through the door, and there's Hellrose. She's got something to say about it.
Bombs drop and they have no utility to work with, and that is just unfortunate. They will cross on over though. The Snake can do a lot of damage, and the Rain is gonna walk on out, but loses the duel, and it's gonna be Milk pushing out, getting the frag, picks up the AK, but she has no idea where Nessa is. Now she does. Spots it out. It's a game of cat and mouse here.
Oh my, where are you gonna run to? Not towards A, trying to circle around, hang out in these lower tunnels a bit to try to get the pick, but Nessa's being very careful. I feel like we're watching Tom and Jerry, just like my elementary school days, sitting back. Who's Tom and who's Jerry in this case?
Right now, it depends on which episode you're talking about, because one would say Tom right now, right? Nessa would be Tom because she has just been unleashed. And I think Milk, she played it very smart, but Nessa is just a step ahead right now. Now, the question is Nessa going to be ready for the player walking in? And she's going to be walking straight from the door. Free kill for her. If Milton walked in from the window, that could have been a free kill for her. So it could have definitely gone either way. But Nessa has been just something else this entire game. She has not made a single mistake.
And sometimes you just have to commit to one of the angles and then hope that's where they're going as opposed to zigzagging back and forth. Both of the players did that, and it worked out only towards one side. But here's your tactical pause coming in from Dignitas. And a game of cat and mouse indeed. I will say, I wasn't as much a fan of Jerry.
I hated Jerry.
Yeah, he was a jerk.
I was so happy whenever he gets kind of screwed over by Tom, or like when Karma screws him over, but for some reason, I don't know. It's like when you're a kid, you really like enjoy Jerry. Then the older you get, you're like, he's kind of a dick to him. Like, poor Tom.
Well, Tom looked exactly like my cat Max, so I was always for him. And you know, elementary school.
You had a blue cat.
Is like, yeah. Well, he's like gray with the.
All right.
What
I thought Tom
settings were your TV on?
Tom was kind of blue.
I don't know. We'll have to go back and see that. But for now, we are back in the game as Demise are 14-8 against Dignitas, who many claim will take the whole crown here in Valencia. But Dignitas, or Demise rather, don't want that to happen.
Yeah, Demise have just been impressive quite a bit here. Rain finds Hellrose. This time around, the aggression from Demise not quite panning out. I think it's the first time in a long time that Dignitas have managed to get the opening kill. Can they do more though? Thea walks on out. Just finds one though.
Still a 2 for 1, just as you said. So Rain is pretty low, down to 31, but that's okay. You'd rather have the player anyway.
It's on Bullet Girl though with the op. She's got to find one, but whoo! Rain with a screamer just destroys her head. And now it's a 2v3. This is very, very rough for Demise. If Art finds his kill as well, this could be almost impossible. Yeah, finds Kim. It's all on Nessa, who has been a beast so far, but a 1v3 with the bomb down, and these post plants are really, really rough to kind of counter.
And it's a tough rotation to take, too. You have Rain over sitting in Goose, and Amelie with the kill on the op. Either way that she came up, there were just too many corners that were being tackled to eliminate her as soon as she made her face appear.
And we do see the immediate tactical timeout getting called by Hellrose. 6 rounds in a row for the CD side. And yeah, it kind of feels like Dignitas really haven't been able to find any flaw in the CD side setup from Demise. And the thing with Demise, what I like what they're doing is, a few of the rounds, it's standard stuff, right? And a few of the rounds, aggression all over the map, especially on those pistol rounds and those eco rounds and all that, which has made Dignitas kind of give a little bit too much respect to Demise, and that might be the downfall. Although, that being said, 14-9, so yeah, 6 rounds can disappear very quickly. Because bear in mind, CD side economy, it's really hard to maintain. If you keep losing players, you keep losing rounds, you will be forced to eco more times than you would on the T side. So Dignitas can definitely claw back into this game, but the margin for error has really, really, really been shrunk down to like a tiny little inch.
And now Dignitas have so much utility to lead into these as they attempt to push through. Right now, they're going to hang back a bit. They're not going to be too aggressive right off the bat. More trying to figure out exactly where Demise are positioned, potentially get a pick before they move in. But Tina's keeping those eyes onto that tunnel entrance through the smoke. And Thea, soon enough, she will be seen popping up to try and get it right on over. She gets the double and completely clears out B.
That is insane. And you expect the third one? No, she's not. Hellrose is there, and quick return coming in. Nessa finds one as well, but Rain with the trade. Again, man advantage taken as Art finds a kill on a Bullet Girl, who was not expecting another player towards long. Nessa with a long-range kill, but just stuck now inside of the smoke. And there's a hunter waiting for her. It is Rain.
That's the plant gonna happen in favor of Dignitas. Finally gets the kill onto Nessa, and they're back in this into double digits officially as they brought this from 10 to 14.
Double digits finally. And this was kind of unfortunate because right before she got Tina, Kim had a crosshair on the Deagle trade exactly at the spot, and she turns away at the worst moment possible. Just kind of getting CSGO'd, which happens. Happens to the best of us.
The angle you come in with, it can be really difficult to adjust. Thea made sure that was the case. So now going into round number 25, Dignitas have to be careful with the way they approach this.
Yeah,
But they have the economy. I just looked on down, I'm like, well, Demise also don't have a lot that they're working with.
yeah, not much to work with. Just P2Ks, maybe a P250 in the mix, though. Free kills galore. Or Dignitas look a little scared of her art, but Hellrose gonna be left alone. She's got her trusty P2000. Don't see that one around that often, and should be a free. She could get a free kill onto Milk. She's lucky, but no, she will not be lucky. Thea will finish her off, and that is going to be a flawless round for Dignitas as they get to round number 11. Just 3 rounds separating the two teams here. And for Demise, it is going to be buy time once more.
And they knew they were going to struggle in that one. I'm sure they would have preferred to get a couple picks in the process, but now at least they can get that buyout. CT having to spend a bit more whenever they want to go for that full buy, and at least get some Kevlar online here. And the M4s plus 1 AUG.
Oh, this is interesting with Demise. 3 players up long. Hellrose playing towards Goose, and Nessa is going to continue to aggress. They haven't really pushed out towards long so far in CD side.
Why do you think they've opted to have 3 over there?
It's going to be a counter, and oh, that is perfect. Such perfect timing. She's going to continue to aggress. There's no need. She's going to make her escape, getting stuck in the door, but that's job done and dusted. Like, you get the opening kill, fall on back, you leave a player towards long, and you can see 2 players. They're making their way. Blitzkrieg's making their way towards mid. But Dignitas looks like they don't really have a plan yet. They're waiting for more aggression. But for Demise, they should just hold on here. Just play it safe. You have the man advantage. There's no need to over-aggress anymore.
They've mostly been holding these positions that are easy to rotate from, and then waiting to see what kind of information they hold. Mid doors is a very powerful place for combat. Here's another act as Bullet Girl taken out by Thea.
That is huge. That is a huge kill for Dignitas. That ensures that now, firstly, the man advantage has been neutralized, and it's going to force out another rotation. Kim's making her way towards CD spawn, and that's going to be a hit coming out for the A bomb site, where it's going to come down a lot onto Hellrose playing towards Goose, and Nessa taking the fight. She's going to get slaughtered by Milk, finds 2. Will they be expecting Hellrose is the question. She's lying in wait, finds 1. Pre-fire doesn't quite pan out. Can she stay alive much longer? No, she can't. Emily will get the kill, and it's all on Tina now in a 1v3.
And can they finish this off? Because Tina's just chilling over here on Cat. Bomb's been planted, and Dignitas have plenty to try and defend this, especially with the only flash available. Tina does pick one up onto Thea, though.
This
and
is
now she can
doable.
get the weapon, too.
Yeah, she does have the 1 flashbang, but she's going to go for the dry peak spot on the upper, but doesn't expect Rain to be sitting on the side. Another round going the way of Dignitas. I just got to say, even though they were man down, the way they reacted back to that was such good work. First, they get the kill at mid, and Milk, beautiful double opening kill towards that A bomb side. And for Hellrose, it felt like she needed to do more than just get that 1 frag, right? But unfortunately, it doesn't pan out, and that's going to be another eco coming out from Demise. But that being said, it's a little bit of an investment here. They have a 5-7, they have a scout, I think a couple of deagles as well, so they've been looking to do a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
And we're back to only a 2-round differential here because Dignitas have been putting in the work, especially when punishing these eco rounds. So Demise, once again on the back foot when facing off against this. Full utility available to Dignitas behind this AK and op combo power. Mostly sitting in the same default positions as they did before, waiting over in tunnels. Rain and Milk picking up a couple onto the CTs, get answered back over by Nessa, but it's still the advantage so far for Dignitas. And now only 2 remain. Make that 1 for Demise.
Okay, I need to see a replay of that. That was a sick shot by Emily. Up close. I think it was kind of like a no-scope, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, round's pretty much done. Unless Nessa finds something with the Deagle, she will get nothing done. And that's going to be another round for Dignitas. 1 round separating them from tying things up with Demise. And that's been a pretty solid comeback, if you ask me.
And one thing to note, though, too, is if Demise managed to bring this to 15 for themselves, even if they don't get to that 16 mark, Dignitas could be facing a really long game ahead. And with a team that kind of can build off of that emotional momentum, you don't necessarily want to see that happen. But here's some opening shots as we go into round 28.
Heavy presence towards tunnels. They have sent down 3 players. As Emily with the op. Just holding point, trying to spot something out for Demise, though it is Not a very huge fan of the setup. There's one player isolated with CD spawn. Nessa has a lot of work to do. Is she gonna time this right is the question. Oh no, switches over to the Molotov the worst time possible. She's gonna be forced on back. Luckily for us, she's alive. And now it's a B pincer coming in. Tina has a lot of work to do.
Luckily, somebody else is there to get some of that action. But here, Kim and Rain both picking up. Rain with the double frag here on B site. So now the rest of the CTs from Demise will be rotating in, but the bomb's been planted and a good holding positioning from the remaining members of Dignitas. All rotated around, and now Demise are just going to back out of it. They don't want that beef.
Yeah, this is a smart call from them. Quick call for the save. There's no need to give away your guns. It is max loss bonus. They're going to be getting $3,400 each and every one of them. But they want to keep these 3 rifles alive, right? You have the M4s, you have that AWP, especially in the hands of Bullet Girl. But Dignitas just grinding it back 6 rounds in a row to the 5 rounds in a row that Demise had earlier in the second half. And Rain opening it up, living up to her billing as well.
With this, Dignitas, they're going to push this back to a tied game with 14 to 14.
And bear in mind, like, if you win this game, I know there's not that much of pressure because you're not going to get knocked out. But you want to get the win. You get a day off tomorrow. You have all the time in the world to prep. And like we've spoken to all these teams, everyone's hungry to get the win. To not just win $100,000, the big chunk of that prize pool, but also get that slot in DreamHack Rotterdam, right? So there's a lot at stake here. And if you have that one day off, it's pressure being eased off. And a nice shot by Emelite finds Bullet Girl. And here comes the play towards the A-bomb side, towards Long and Art, just mowing them down. Nessa and Hellrose will fall, and just like that, 2 players remain for Demise, and Dignitas right now looking unstoppable.
They see the potential W in their sight line, and they want to grab it with all that they have got. So it's only Tina around, but this is going to be an A plant for Dig.
Yeah, an A plant for Dig. They're going to get the round. This is scary for Demise because even if Tina saves this M4, which could not necessarily happen because they're already on the hunt here, if she even survives the M4, the rest of her team, 2 of the players are going to be less than $4,000. So even though they have the money, it's not going to be the best. The buy is not going to be solid at all. So this could be Dignitas just getting the win here. What a round from them. Just conviction plays towards the A-bomb site.
Question is, Thea going to find Tina at this moment? Oh, it looked like Tina was gonna slap it back, but...
You hate to see it.
Yeah, that,
Thea has been really sharp today. Ooh, that shot by Emily. Just spots the shoulder out, takes out Bullet Girl, finds a second kill as well onto Kim. And everyone just firing off all cylinders for Dignitas. They are on map and match point. They need 1 more round, 5 more kills for Demise. They came so close, but this looks like it just might slip away here.
And it's the difference between either winning the game or pushing it all the way into overtime. So Dignitas really want to try and close this out for the time being. And they're not facing off against a lot of utility. You have some of these budget purchases from Demise and starting to lay it down for Dignitas to make the play.
Well, this could be rough here. They do have Bullet Girl with the AWP. She's playing towards Long, and she can back up her teammate. That is Nessa, who has been a star for Demise this game so far. But like you mentioned, utility is so very sparse. They have nothing to stop a hit from taking place apart from winning the duels. They have a nade in the hands of Tina, who's nowhere towards an A-bomb side. They don't have a single kit either, so they need to win this duels. They need spray downs coming in, and it's going to be Rain leading the pack here for Dignitas.
Nessa's holding on to that A site, and there are 4 Dignitas players ready to rotate in from Cat. Starting off with the molly over into Goose to see if they needed to clear that out. Bullet Girl picked one up over onto Art Star, though, on the opposite side. So here's the beginning of the spray. Thea takes a lot of damage in the process, but so does Nessa, who is eventually taken out. And now Dignitas have free reign of this site.
They do, but the retake is on indeed. They don't have a kit, bear in mind. They need to make some haste here, and it's going to be contact placed towards short, but looks to be the worst time possible. Why would she look away as Kim and Hellrose find 2 quick frags? And Thea on the side, though, she has been a rock. Finds one, looking for more, gets a second kill. No, she doesn't. And it's going to be overtime. Somehow, Demise, they bring it back.
That timing right there, like you said, looking away when this potential push was coming through. Very unfortunate for Dignitas. And now we are indeed going into overtime. Demise are not ready to end this yet.
Not indeed, and wow. It kind of looked like that was done. It was a 4v4, the bomb was down, and somehow they had no kit, they had no utility, they had to win each and every one of those deals. They managed to win it, and Thea, she was incredible this entire game, and unfortunately not able to close out a 1v2, but that means overtime, the first overtime of the day. we definitely have a game in our hands here.
If any game was going to go to overtime, if you've been watching with us the entire way through this game, it totally makes sense for it to be this one with the back and forth battle that we've seen. And if you're looking at the way that Demise was heading into that last round, yeah, these partial purchases, yeah, you had the op, but you're working with pharmacists too. And now it's a whole different story in round 1 of overtime.
Yeah, here it's everything being reset. Whatever happened past 30 rounds doesn't really matter now, does it? You know, money's not going to be a problem. They have all the cash in the wall. That was unnecessary from Bullet Girl. She gets the kill, but the quick trade coming in, and that's the op taken out of play here as the A bomb site again getting pressurized.
Sometimes you have to think about the weapon you're wielding when you decide to be that reckless with your approach. So Dignitas do lose Rain, but it's a whole different story with what she was holding, because Emelite is still with the op ripe and ready.
Yeah, and a really cool thing about Dignitas right now is the kill spread between all the 5 players. The top fragger is Thea on 25, the lowest fragger is Art and Emelite on 20. And the other two are 23, but Hellrose walks in through the smoke like a madman, and she won't get traded as Emily misses the shot. Again, re-aggression, but Emily this time around will manage to land it. She's looking for more, but it will not happen. Nessa will find her through the flames, and it's all on Art, and what a play by Hellrose.
Hanging them over that banister like towels, my friend. That was crazy engaged, but Artstar's the only one left for Dignitas. Can she find anybody? Oh, there she gets caught out by Nessa. So that's a round going over for Demise. Oh.
It's, yeah, 2 rounds in a row for them, mind you, after what looked like Dignitas had kind of had their number. And what a play by Hellrose. Again, a little bit of a misplay from Dignitas. They should never have had both the players turn their backs away, but finding that tiny little window of opportunity and working out for them, that's great. However, money is not going to be an issue whatsoever for either of these two teams. Op's going to come out again for Emelite, who has been quite effective in his initial duels. A fast play coming out towards short, but look at the damage being inflicted by that nade. Rain and Milk, both kind of low here.
Immediately moving over through mid. We'll see the rotations coming over from Demise, as Hellrose is the first to get, but gets flashed over across that corner, so just has to rain out the shots and hope for the best. So Dignitas are still waiting before they make their heavy movement in, throwing down the utility, lighting the floor ablaze through the smoke, and they're coming through, and Hellrose eventually wiped off as Dignitas will continue to move forward, but they're going to find Bullet all over here by the CT area, throws the smoke to put out the fire, and back into the CT spawn for some safety.
This is just sheer insanity. Nessa not expecting Rain to push up so quickly. She gets caught out as well, and now it's turned again as Rain finds Kim, and she's on a triple kill here. Just pretty much single-handedly wresting that A bomb site away from Demise. For a moment there, it looked like Demise had the right plan in mind. They had the right positions, but just losing all the duels as Thea finds Tina as well, leaving all in Bullet Girl, who's been having kind of a rough game, if you ask me, and she has a lot of work to do. 1v4. Bear in mind, all 4 players are kind of low, but she doesn't know that, and she's going to head for the hills with the AWP.
Second time within the last minute that she's had to take that rotation after being unable to land the shots, and gets found right there by Emelite with the op. And that's the thing, you're popping out across CT ramp and you start to spray thinking, okay, I gotta pick one up for my team, and it doesn't connect. All you can do is fall back. This was insane here. Just the angles that were being taken.
Yeah, I like how committed they were to that short play, and despite the Molotovs being tossed in, they were able to kind of make it work in their favor. Pretty chaotic, but able to... Oh, that was so very close. Nessa somehow survives by the skin of her teeth, but she finds 2 of them. Art will fall as well, and she has been such a rock towards this pit area. 33 kills for her already. And that's the A bomb. That's long, in control, and the bomb is down as well. That is disaster for Dignitas.
Hellrose and Nessa really doing a great job of watching over on that side, which is what forced Emily to have to back out of that in the meantime. And now Rain is over here to try and watch the angle, potentially see if someone attempts to rotate through. Because that bomb, it's right there. It ain't going anywhere. The CTs ain't going anywhere. So what are you gonna do, Dignitas?
Well, they are trying to make their way towards short, try and pincer this bomb, so to speak, but Rain's getting forced up by the Molotov. She's gonna walk in straight to her death. Kim with the AWP this time around. And the dual op setup for the first time, I do believe, coming out for Demise, leaving Thea all alone in a 1v5. It's the final round of this, well, this half of overtime, so there's no point in trying to go for the save here. So she has to go for something, but 5 kills and a bomb down over there, that could be impossible for pretty much anyone.
Yeah, I'll see if she ends up finding any picks as she's moving through Cat right now. But
Look at
Tina's
everyone.
moving.
Everyone's sitting on the bomb.
Everybody's over there. They say even if you come in with everything you got and don't miss a single shot, chances are one of us will be able to take you out before you can make your movement this way with all 5. So there's only 17 seconds to go to try and hold this. Thea's raining on shots from here to see what she can do, but Demise finish her off.
Yeah, and really good. Again, Nessa has been such a force to be reckoned with this entire game, right? This pit area has been just a domain. Nice follow-up kill onto Art as well. And again, the boost comes in, off angle, the Molotov forcing out Rain, to have to go for that play. And yeah, they managed to get the lead here, 17-16. Still anyone's game if you ask me, but then going into the second half, here's the thing with overtime. When you've been playing so long in one half, when you suddenly have to like mentally reset and be like, all right guys, we're in the T side right now. What did we do earlier in the T side? They played some of the most waxiest I've ever seen, to be honest. And I want to see more of that now, Like all around the world, go towards tunnels, goes towards long doors, go towards mid, go all the way back towards spawn, towards B tunnels again. Something a little
tour.
mental, like a tour.
Yeah, anyone that's new to CS out there, just be like, yo! Emily finds it right down mid to kick things off. CT's always, anyone loves to have the player advantage, but CT's in particular, it kind of gives you the go-ahead to try and move in and collapse upon the rest of the T's.
Absolutely, and Emily's been kind of the queen of mid so far. She's been winning a lot of those duels. She's been very controlled even when taking the shots. She would rather go for info plays, like trying to spot out mid, rather than really go for this crazy flick shots and wall bangs. And whenever she's gone for the fight, she has won it out. It looks like it's going to be a B split coming in here from Demise real quickly, but Thea
Pretty
pressing.
They're just wanting to wait for the right moment, and that was the right moment for them to do it. Kim picks up a couple for herself, and Demise is the 2v2, but they're currently on the site and should be able to get the plant eventually, but Dignitas are ready to move on in it. They still have a little utility available to them as well to do so.
And Nessa picking up another Molotov is going to keep the player towards the tunnels and Art at bay for the time being. They have a smoke and a flash in the hands of Odd, but she's coming from the tunnels, and Emily with the op. Not the best of guns to go for a retake with. What's she gonna do here?
She's waiting for a rotation in, and she looks over to the left, gets sniped from the right, and Kim picks up the credit for that one. She's looking for the last remaining CT in Art Star, and she finds her, so Demise, pick it up!
I love how animated Hellrose is. She's so animated. And why not? They're in map and match point. After what has been a while, they need one more round of the remaining 2 to close this one out.
But with the trend, I wouldn't be surprised if Dignitas really put some effort to attempt to push this even farther here.
Yeah, but now they have 0 margin for error once again. They need to win both the rounds back-to-back to take it to overtime number 2. And nice chunky nade there from Dignitas. Him down to 63 points of health. But
always love seeing that impact on the numbers right off the bat. No wasted utility there. Ooh, Milk, are you gonna pick anybody off over here in tunnels? Everybody's here, it's a total party. But not everybody anymore. As 2 are taken out, Kim luckily able to have that impact on Milk, but unfortunately, Dignitas are ready to rotate on in. Rain picks up 2 more before getting taken down by Tina.
well, Tina now in a 1v3. Won't really happen. Thea will drop her, and that is going to be round number 70. They need just one more round to take it to overtime number 2. And like I said, money's not going to be a factor here for Demise, but that B, again, they tried to go for the B play there, but I like the proactiveness from Dignitas pushing up tunnels, double man pushing up tunnels and getting the opening kill there, making things pretty miserable for Demise. What are they going to do here, though?
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they go for something a bit safer, and it's to be the case. Hanging back with the bomb for now and waiting to see where Dignitas end up spreading, which it's going to be 2 over and long with 2 on B and 1 hanging all the way up by A site. As a move through mid is currently possible, and we might have to see the rotation from the CTs over on B, but everyone's kind of holding their breath, using their utility right now to figure out positioning of the rest. But it's Thea, loves holding on over by long.
And this is a different position, mind you. I don't think she's really held this one that often. Problem is, if she gets traded, if she gets killed, there is no trade possible for Dignitas. That's a problem here.
Problems come with solutions, though. Who will find the solution for keeping themselves in this game? There's Thea taking the angle, gets 2 of the T's and the bomb dropped. So she does eventually fall, but luckily able to get a pretty favorable trade to begin with. Bomb's been picked up once again by the remains of Demise. And now Dignitas are forced to rotate in that direction to cross them off, but a kill over into the back of A site. So now it's the 2v3.
This is 2v3. Great timing on that push on the rotate by Art, and Rain spotted out a player. And I don't think Bullet's going to be expecting this. Rain walking out from the smoke. Is she? Won't she? Will she? And it's going to push on out. Gets the kill. It's all on Tina in a 1v3. Bomb down. But it's going to be Rain who denies it. And we're going to be seeing overtime number 2.
Oh, man. If any team is going to make sure that they don't go out that way, it's going to be Dignitas pushing this to another overtime here. 18-18 on the scoreboard. Yeah, that was very risky when you're coming around with smoke. You don't know what angle they're going to be coming from, but still some great shots from Rain. Not just in this game, but the game that we saw earlier too. Very consistent frags from her.
Yes, she has been really, really solid indeed. And not just her, I just don't want to touch upon Rain, but if you just look at Thea, like we mentioned, the queen of long. She has been incredible so far. And Emily as well, like even though she hasn't really been a top fragger for the team, if you look at the op shots she's been hitting, consistent kills. I'd rather have that rather than having one really good round, but then kind of falling flat in the rest of the rounds with the big green gun. So 18-18 scores a tie. No one's backing down here. I love it.
Nobody at all. This is the angle that could be a great way to kick things off. You want to have that mid control on a map like Dust where it's super imperative. And that's why you see the utility come out there early. Emily with a nice shot around the corner onto Bullet Girl. Hey, you like bullets, girl? I got bullets for you. There's a flash for Tina.
That is, again, I've kind of lost count how many duels Emily has won at mid throughout this game, right? She's been
that
really
specific
consistent.
angle, too.
Yeah, and she's been really, really consistent with that. On the T side, on the CD side, we do see the re-aggression coming out. Nice peek there, but Hellrose with a quick double of her own, and now it's a 3v3.
But everyone's pretty spread right now, so might see a little bit of a slowdown until a collective strategy is put in place, with one over towards Car on CT side, and then trying to navigate through tunnels, see if you can run across any of the Demise players.
Dignitas is going for the right play. Milk just needs to be a little bit more patient. There's no need to run. And she
Keep
could
them
catch.
split.
Yeah, she's going to get a free kill. She peeks out a little bit further, but I like what they did. 3v3, you're always going to be disadvantaged, right, if you're the CT side. And they go in for the push towards tunnels, so now they know the hit is probably going to be coming towards A. I was walking out. Emily missed the shot, and she's done for it. There's a player coming up along as well. Caught out with her pants down by Nessa, and now it's a 2v3. This is going to be really hard for Dignitas.
And Tina's able to join Nessa now, so she's not completely alone.
What?
It's Rain! Rain once again with the pain for the double. Hellrose, what you got to say about it? There's 2 CTs left. You got words for them. Rain's still over there, and she gets another one onto Hellrose and says, Dignitas, I am with you through and through for this to be 19-18.
The number of times Rain has bailed her team out from these sticky situations. That round looked lost to me, but the double lineup there, that is kind of unfortunate as well, and of course finishes it off with a nice triple kill onto Hellrose. 19-18, Dignitas with the 1-round lead here. And just taking a look at the scoreboard real quickly. Right now, Nessa's still top fragging in the sub 35 kills, but Rain is just shy of the 35 with 33 kills of her own.
That is nuts. Just some really great strategies coming out from them and being able to turn it into some very unfavorable situations. But right now, standard spread over on CT side. Demise definitely seem to be slowing things down here when there's more on the line in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be given that many opportunities to kind of close things out, right? And for Dignitas, that's when the experience might come into play as a unit. You've been in these scenarios before in overtimes and elimination games and whatnot. So, but then again, that being said, Demise aren't exactly a new roster. They've been playing together for quite a while, maybe a couple of changes here and there, but apart from that, the core has been the same for quite a while, despite having different org names. They do seem to change orgs quite often, now playing under the Demise banner.
And when you have the majority of your team, in this case 3 players that have been a collective for a while, it can be much easier to bring in another player or 2, as opposed to when you're kind of all scattered about. But at this point in time, Demise are gonna, woo!
That was sharp.
Yeah, that was a nice shot over from CT mid. Rain gets 2 again though. She doesn't like getting single kills. She likes keeping it in the 2s or 3s between these rounds. She's hanging out with Bullet Girl, rotating around the big box, hitting onto the B plat to bend down and take out Rain.
She did such a great job just staying alive for so long as possible. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Nessa catches Thea in the air, and that's gonna leave Emily alone in a 1v2. She's got the op. Might switch over to the M4. No, she's not. She's gonna stick with the AWP. She's got a kit. She's got a P250, but the bomb is ticking away, and this 1v2 could be a little too rough here. They're not expecting her to be coming in from tunnels, but again, the P250, this is gonna be hard.
That's the thing, Emily, she's walking in with the op in hand, but has the P250 if needed. She gets the shot onto Bullet Girl, has one more second over my clock, and she finds it, so she's able to make it over for the defuse, and Dignitas picking up another round. She gets it! Dignitas! Ooh, Lottie always having faith in every single player remaining, and Emily has been super clutch in the clutch situations.
Wow. Like an op 1v2. Look at how low she was. She was so low in health as well, and you just lands the headshot. Nessa's gonna be so ticked off about that. And Dignitas, they get it 2 in a row now. Can they make this a flawless half is a question, but when required, everyone is stepping up for that side.
I forgot what the exact stats were, but I was looking at them for Dig the other day, and Emily's clutch percentages are pretty insane, as demonstrated right there. But similar to the last round, we're probably going to be seeing a slower approach here in the first part. They're going to give us heart attacks in the way that they're bouncing it up.
Well, Tina, though, walking up, she might actually get the opening kill. No, she won. Art is going to win the duel. And again, because Tina was the floater around towards long, there's no one to trade for her. And that means, again, man advantage by Dignitas early on. And here comes the play towards B, though. Milk is there to reply back.
It was a 3-2 now. It's 2v1 over on that site. So 1 T remaining is all you need to plant a bomb, but you don't know where the rest of the teams are. Teams are rotated. There's some fire onto Thea, so Nessa picks that up and has a molly for some extra security. She's trying to slow this down as much as possible so her teammate can get this.
She peeked out from window with the bomb, and that is just so unfortunate. That sucks.
Yeah, not over there. So now Dignitas are going to be sitting pretty, trying to defend this bomb. Nessa from the mid rotation, through across and through window, brings them elite down to 7 HP, so she shouldn't be picking out anymore. But Artstar finds it, and Dignitas gets the win, not just for the round, not just for the second overtime, but for the game.
I think they thought they won the game for a second there, but...
Yeah, that's why I got tripped up, because they started... I just went through a freak out moment in my head, everyone, because I was thinking, okay, they got another one. Saw them start freaking out to bring their headsets off. I thought, oh, do I have it wrong? Were we a round ahead? But, energy back down. We can take a moment.
We need to take a moment here, but 21-18, a flawless CD side, and they need one more round. That's it, one more round, and they get the win for Demise. They can't win this particular overtime. They can only take it overtime number 3, and that requires them to have a flawless CD side. Let's see what they do here. Dual op setup coming out again. Bullet Girl and Kim on the Zoom bangers.
First shot, Tina takes some damage early on. Same with Rain. But still similar rotations to before. Who's going to get control of mid first is the question as we start to see that battle ensue. But Bullet Girl is going to rotate instead through CT spot.
Thea just showing a presence towards short. And for Demise, again, very standard setup they have here. It's a 3-2 setup, 2 players inside the B bomb side, no presence, no eyes on mid. And that's going to allow Dignitas to walk on out for free if they do offer it. But a nice Molotov there, keeping them at bay. But bear in mind, 1 minute and 14 seconds on the clock means there's a lot of time they have to work with. And now Hellrose trying to regain lost ground towards mid. They know there is some presence from Dignitas there. So they're spreading it out, but...
Dig want to really see, can they try and take somebody out before deciding where they want to commit with this bomb? Because they have it over towards mid. But unfortunately, they end up losing Milk, and Rain is still looking unhealthy with that 10 HP. Some firepower into the CTs, but Kim and Hellrose dish it back. So Rain and Artstar, now just Artstar at 12. It's her and her lonesome over on B site with the bomb in mid.
Well, Art does find a kill on the Kim. Nice little wall bang there. 1v3. It's doable, but no, Bullet Girl would deny her. The wallbang comes in, and you can see Demise, I think that's, I do believe that's Tina telling everyone, calm down, guys. We still need to win 2 more runs. It is still doable. But Dignitas not going to be too worried about that one. They still have 2 full buys remaining to close this one out.
And yeah, in those last moments, I would have to get into mid to get the bomb and then get some kills and come back. Very difficult to pull off.
Ooh, good trades there. Emily, again, winning the opening deal, but Kim there to trade immediately. This is going to be a fast pace towards B. Is a question, though. That is so scary for Thea.
And the benefit of a second offer, right? You say, hey, you're gone, but I got you, girl. So still just a 4v4 currently. Thea sitting at 43 HP. Over in those tunnels. You see the fire coming through those mid doors, but not going to connect just yet.
It does look like Dignitas are kind of like heading towards a B bomb site because they have Thea waiting towards tunnels, and looks like it's going to be mid to B split coming out once more. And the pressure is going to be on Hellrose here. Oh, Tina pushing up though, and this could be a free kill. No, it's not. Thea will fall. Tina plucks her head clean off her shoulders. And now, man advantage, again, rested by Demise. As the play, this time, with the fact that the play died in tunnels, means they're going to be forced to go towards short, but the nade doing so much damage.
So Demise need to capitalize upon the fact that they forced Dignitas to change their strategy. They're here on A site, and we have two CTs laying in wait with an additional one over towards pit. Here comes the utility as Hellrose picks up one, picks up two on the M4. Bomb has been planted, and Artstar is waiting on the site to dish it back with the op, but Tina takes it onto her. Demise, fist bumps galore.
Is it going to happen again? Are we going to see another overtime here? One more round for Demise, one more round for Dignitas, for Dignitas to close it out and, you know, book that semi-final slot. But Demise are not quite done yet. They are clawing their way back. They're just clinging on the precipice, refusing to concede. Love to see it.
So Dignitas, the pressure is on. The difference between them winning the game or pushing this to a third overtime is right before us at this moment, as the first shots rain nice and proud and loud.
Emily's really been good towards the mid area with the yaw. I said it earlier, I sound like a broken record, just got to point it out. She's been so instrumental, not just getting the skills, but getting the info early on. And let's see what they do here, though, as they gather up, trying to take short control. There is a player ready and waiting towards short, but in the meantime, look at this play from Nessa. She is on a fact-finding mission, and all the pushed up all the way towards long doors. That means the rest of her teammates can concentrate on that A short area.
And now Dignitas have pretty much committed over to the catwalk here. The first person they're going to run into is Hellrose, but the smoke is here to make that difficult for both sides. Try and get the peek out of it. Thea's waiting for her chance to rotate on in, and it's Rain serving as the entry fragger. Can she find anyone through the smoke? A lot of damage dealt to the T side.
All five players charging out from short. That's not ideal. As Bullet Girl finds one, misses another one. But look at Hellroach, she's looking for more. She's going to creep on up, finds one, looking for more. Get the second kill. One player remains. It's overtime number 3 here. I don't see Thea able to pull this one back. 1v5 to 1v4 now, and she will be found by Bullet Girl. Overtime number 3. Here we go. What is even going on here?
Slaying them there. That's the thing. That full commit over from Dig, moving on through catwalk, and then it was kind of a desperation moment of, I guess we got to try and plant it now, even though we have no cover, and hope that we all somehow survive.
That's not ideal.
They didn't.
That's not ideal.
No.
5 players pushing up Cat against that AWP of Bullet Girl waiting for them, and it just seems so chaotic, right? And you got to ask yourselves, like, who is a more experienced team? Because it felt like, to me, Dignitas kind of felt like they ran out of steam there. You have 3 map points, 3 match points to close it out, and you can't do it. I mean, again, not taking anything away from Demise. They played it as well as they possibly could. But questions have to be raised right now for Dignitas. They are one of the favorites of this tournament, and they are struggling to close this one out.
I wonder if maybe thinking that the game was over in that moment kind of rattled them for a bit, and it's done. Oh wait, we still have to do one more. And at this point in time, now you got to do 4 more to be able to finish it off in this overtime number 3.
Yeah. And for Dignitas, again, they're slowing things down. 2 players towards the tunnels, and the aggression from Demise early on this time around. Tina, they have such a good angle that Thea should be careful. She should win this duel. This angle does favor her, unless... there we go. She wins the duel. She's going to re-aggress further. Miss comes in from Kim. But she will re-peek and ensures that she wins that duel. But that's going to be the help for Dignitas to go for this play towards mid-range, just making contact. And Nessa now having to survive, having to get these kills. She finds one. Can she get the second one in the rain? Well, she doesn't have to. Kim's there to save the day. And it's now 2v3, Emily and Art remaining in the 2v3.
Demise players are seeming like they were getting cornered, but now it's all going down at the cross. So Artstar is leading in with some firepower. And there's the bomb plant from Dignitas on the A site, which gives a red flag to Demise of where they need to be going next. So So the two that aren't already over towards A will be coming up the cat side. And Emily sitting here with the up, but isn't able to get that kill. So she's forced to back out of it as well.
Oh.
Ooh, finds that one though.
That was nasty. Now a 2v2. The problem for Dignitas is Demise know where both the players are. Oh, it's going to peek a beautiful shot to Kim, leaving it all on Bullet Gold in a 1v2. This could be rough indeed. She's got a Molotov and a smoke. She could smoke off the bomb and just stick it, but it's going to peek on out wide. Smokes the bomb, taps it, and she's just going to stick it, but the smoke is too deep, and Ark's going to get the kill from behind, and that's going to be Dignitas getting round number 22.
At that point, you're facing off against 3 opponents. You have the 2 that are still alive and the clock itself, which leaves you with very few options in that. So now Dignitas taking their tactical pause.
She should have, I kind of felt like she could have smoked off the bomb itself directly and stuck it inside, but yeah, when it's that close, you kind of do tend to make small little mistakes. And even if she had smoked off the bomb, don't really think she would have got it. There'd be 2 rifles spraying through the smoke to get the kill. So 22 for Dignitas, still pretty early in this particular overtime. And for Demise, the dual up setup still in play, Bullet Girl and Kim.
It's been working out for them because...
Yeah, it has.
Especially when you notice what Emily has been able to do from that mid angle. And if she's going to most likely get a shot from there, then you want to have somebody else to at least dish it back. And knowing that they're only running the 1-op, then that's a lot taken out for them. Nessa is the first to fall here as the spray comes all the way through long doors. This is a 3-player rotation from Dignitas before they decide to back out. But Milk is sitting over by blue and waiting for Hellrose, who just got flashed a bit, but not enough to keep her blind enough from getting that frag.
That's a crucial re-aggression from Demise. Ensuring they get the kill onto Milk means they still retain control of Long, right, with Hellrose being over there. If they lost control of Long, then this A hit is going to be so much more easier for Dignitas. And now, with the player towards Long, Bullet Girl doesn't have to be that hyper-aggressive towards Short. And that's going to, and Dignitas knows this, and that's going to kind of funnel them towards the B bomb site, where guess who's waiting? It is going to be Kim with the big green gun.
And Kim, if you've been watching her for a bit, she really can have a lot of great moments of just coming through with these clutches. And there's two on the op. That leaves Rain there in the tunnel side. Manages to get the kill onto Kim, but she had quite the effect beforehand and enough time for the rest of the CTs to rotate on through. Rain's the only one there left, and Tina gets the credit.
It's literally like a street fight. It's so back and forth right now. It is, and bear in mind, when a game continues for this long, when it gets like triple overtime, it gets messy, right? You get a little tired, you kind of run out of ideas as well, and that's when your mind games start kind of not working out. You kind of mind game yourself at times because you kind of run out of ideas and strats and you know what to do. And a map like Dust 2, let's be honest, it is kind of limited when it comes to your options you have, but Kim!
Another one with that op. Right behind these flashes too. That's where Demise is gonna have to deal with, but they're just back onto the sites. Rotating through CT mid. And Thea's making her way towards Cat once again to try and lead the charge from the Ts that are rotating on through. As Demise backs off the point, awaiting their attack. Emily picking one up onto Bullet Girl from mid.
That's a crucial kill. If they'd gone for the short play, the CTs were waiting for them, but the second Emily gets a kill at mid, that's going to force...
I like this better.
Yeah, they're going to beat a B play coming in, and it's all on one player ready and waiting inside the bomb site. It's on Tina. What can she possibly do again?
Milk and Rain making their way through the smoke out of that tunnel entrance, and Tina gets the double! So Demise 23 to 22. That back and forth we were just talking about.
Hellrose is like just calming everyone down. If you look at the demeanor of both these teams, it's so different, right? You have Hellrose and the rest of Demise who are like super pumped up, super excited, and you have Dignitas who, yeah, I mean, they're looking a little down and whatnot, but even when they're winning, it's like they're so much more composed and controlled. But it's not really translating in the server. They're making a lot of uncharacteristically weird mistakes, tiny little mistakes, which Demise are taking advantage of. And for Demise right now, sure, it's not map point yet, but a 1-round lead going into the second half of overtime number 3 is definitely a good thing.
It's so tough mentally because you have to remind yourself of that every time, that this 1-round lead could mean a lot if we snowball it into something else. But when you've come across that situation so many times, it's difficult to keep that same mentality. And right off the bat, not getting those same op shots before, they're not always going to land. But Dignitas with their spread, this time a couple over towards Cat.
Yeah, and just calling out Nessa on a 40 kill. She's been having a monster of a game. And this is an interesting setup for Dignitas. They mixed it up a little bit. No one towards Long, no one towards Spit, no one in car, no one in A-bomb side. 3 players. I do believe 3 players, yeah, waiting towards short. And are they going to aggress out is a question. They just might do that. Might try and time this. Yep, there we go. They wait for the smoke towards mid, and they're going to be pushing out, but Hellrose is ready and waiting. She knows they're pushing out. He might get one kill. Look, oh, the transfer! Finds two of them. The trade does come in, but it might be a little too late because Rain is getting pressurized. She's all alone. Can she find anything? No, she can't. And Milk has a lot of work to do.
Treating those bullets like an alarm and saying, let's charge in over to B. So, but it's the two still remaining from Dignitas to try their best to defend this. Milk taking one out before she falls at the hand of Kim, and now it's the 3v1. Emily being the only one again to hold this with the P250.
Yeah, she did manage to clutch a 1v2 earlier on, but this might be almost impossible. She's going to smoke off towards tunnels, but oh, I love the re-aggression from Tina. Here's Emily running around and uses that opportunity to make her way towards window. Map and match point again for Demise. They need one more round to close this one out, and what a spray transfer from Hellrose.
At that upward angle, too.
That was nasty.
Yeah, that was real.
Can they close it out? Can they close it out?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of prepared to just buckle myself in for the rest of my stay here in Valencia and just keep going back and forth.
And the ease attack timeout as well. And I think it's a good usage of it. Hellrose is talking to the teammates and saying, listen, girls, one more round. Let's not screw this one up. We got this done. We can win this one. We can close this one out. And I like the fact they use a timeout just for this particular instance.
And as we mentioned, going into this whole overtime spree, one of the great things about it is the fact that you're not running into eco rounds, you have your full out. So it's great to use. But interesting, the Scar.
The Scar, the auto sniper, the Dak as they call it down under. It has come out, and Rain is going to be playing towards B. And yeah, this defense has been kind of exploited towards the B bomb site, and this could be the adaptation that does work out for Dignitas.
I really am excited to see it in action, because you don't get to see the Scar 20 very often. And the way that Rain has been playing, we could be in for some pretty crazy highlights here. But Dignitas are going to have to wait to see what Demise do.
And Demise are heading towards B. You can see it. 4 players gather up there. They have to lurk in the form of, I do believe that is Hellrose, waiting towards Xbox, and now Rain with just waiting. It's so many players ready and waiting to fall to her, but she just finds one, and Kim decapitates her immediately. But Bullet Girl with a quick trade. That's a B bomb set, and Hellrose, she's in such a good position to go in for the flank, and she could just stab them from behind. Drops one down. Unfortunately, there's smoke blocking her way, but that's a free kill for her. She's biding her time, waiting, trying to gather more information. This could be too late, though. She took too long, and Emily will find her. And now it's a 2v3 as the bomb goes down.
Oh, the bomb has to go down at this point, and now they're just going to have to hold on to this as much as they possibly can. But Artstar is outside of those B doors, which have been smoked off, and now she's rotating over towards window. Will she make the peek? You got 2 Ts looking straight at you, my friend, which can get pretty crazy. But Thea is coming over from the back angle. Can she find it? She gets the kill on the Bullet Girl, and now Demise have been taken out. Dignitas continue to push this game through. Holy moly.
I don't blame Hellrose there. She could have gone for the kill, instead she waited to get more information, and that's when Emily's spider sense started tingling a little bit. She's like, I have a feeling Hellrose is behind us. Turns around, gets the kill. It's unfortunate, but I don't blame her for that, right? I would have done the same thing. I would have waited for more information because there was no one looking a direction. But I'm not sure what was the tell. Maybe they didn't hear the footstep. Maybe they know Hellrose likes floating towards mid, and when they didn't find her at mid, they expected her to drop down from Cat towards CD-Son. Perhaps as Bullet Girl lands a tag on Rain. Doesn't quite land the kill though, and this could be Demise going for a fast play towards B here.
Man, this means we don't get to see any Scar play because Rain got killed before we got to see it in action. Back on the M4 as they're moving aggressively into the tunnels where they'll run into 3 different Ts, and Bullet Girl sees Milk with the op, unfortunately, before she could get the sight onto them. Nessa takes a lot of damage, though, here over towards mid. CT's been completely smoked out. And the back off from Artstar as she's flashed. Nessa takes full advantage of that. And Demise here, still standing with a 5-person squad. Emily in the middle of the smoke. Nessa, will you find this kill? I think you may. A quick turnaround! Emily with a P250!
She is nasty. And Thea, if she gets this kill, this could be very, very doable indeed. But Kim in such a good position. Who's going to spot them out first? Thea looking in direction. He gets a kill. And now it's a 3v2. Emily with a P250 out already. There's a player ready and waiting for her, though, but she's given away her position. Tina walks in out from the door, gets the kill. It's all on Thea. 1v3. Bomb ticking away. Time is not a friend. A nade comes in. Double nade. And Bullet Girl's there to seal the deal. And there you have it. The victors will be not the favorites. Not the favorites. That's insane. What a comeback.
That was phenomenal. Complete grudge match between these 2 teams right here. And Demise have proven why they're here at DreamHack Valencia. Of course, the way everything works, Dignitas will get the chance eventually to keep working their way back, and they're not unfamiliar with being in that position, but I don't think they planned on being there this early.
Yeah, I mean, one might say two upset wins back-to-back for these girls, and I think they're going to be super happy with the way this one's played out. It kind of felt like at the end there, near the end, that the experience from Dignitas would kind of get them over the finish line, but kudos to these guys. They really played their hearts out, and you can see how emotional they were as well. And yeah, deserved winners at the end of the day.
Yeah, I really was thinking that at one point that veteranship from Dignitas, because they have been able to kind of keep pushing through even when they're behind a lot of rounds, that they'd be able to pull it out. But nope, Demise, they kept their cool throughout the entire time, and the plays ended up working out for them.
I'm especially happy for Demise player who had, I think it was Nessa, with like 40 bomb. That is insane. 40 kills, and they win the game as well. That is some great stuff. And yeah, I think the best map we've had, the best game we've had so far today.
Oh, unquestionably. That was super long, but full of action and everything that you can hope for in that type of situation. And our first upset, we're only on day number 1, and we're already getting the upsets all the way through. So do you think that as far as we're about to throw it to Desk, yes or no, will Demise bring it all?
I don't know. I'm expecting it to take place. It made things way more exciting right now, and I really can't wait to see the ladies on the Desk break this one down.
Oh yeah, Desk, what do you have to say about that grudge match that we just all went through?
That was definitely hands down the best map we've seen today. What a close game. I don't think anyone could have predicted that it would end up in this triple OT scenario. There's so much to break down here, but Melania, let's all start with how it was Demise's game from the start. They were up 14-8, and it was much of that was due to Nessa going off.
Yeah, Bullet had unfortunately not a great half, but that didn't really matter because Nessa was crazy and she just easily got the 3 frags. So like that mistake got easily forgiven, you know? So and that's how they got so many rounds at the end. But yeah, Dignitas came back.
Exactly, Dignitas was able to come back, and we saw that Thea was a huge part of that, Potter.
Thea definitely was, and if I'm Dignitas right now, I'm feeling a little bit down. I'm feeling a little bit robbed, but at the same time, if they go back to the hotel and take a look at this demo, take a look at this VOD, this was absolutely a match that was in their hands. I mean, they won both pistols. We were talking about this in the green room, but they ended up losing both eco rounds immediately after. And in a best-of-1 series, if you're gonna lose those rounds like that, it's gonna be it punishes you so hard.
Yeah, it was until the end, like the last remaining round, where it was so unfortunate that it was all about timing as well. We have had these crazy rounds all about timing, and that's how we got to so many overtimes as well.
Definitely. I can't believe in the first half, that 14-8, Dignitas had to really claw their way back and get back into this matchup. And I thought at that around 14-10 or 14-11 and Dignitas was making that comeback, I thought surely that they would be able to close it out.
Yeah, they would have. They should have had that last round as well, but that timing was too crucial, and that's how...
So crucial.
How Demise got the last round, and that's how it all started. Now they're winners.
Now they're winners indeed.
They are winners, and with that, they will be moving forward to the semifinals here as the first team to do so. First of all, congratulations, Nessa. Your team is obviously so happy to do this, and in both matches, in the first match against Copenhagen Flames, as well as this match against Dignitas, you guys were considered the underdogs. So tell us what it means to you to be able to take those teams down to move forward.
It's an amazing feeling. We are all, I think, we're very thrilled, obviously. It was a very emotional game, and especially the last one was very enduring. So we're just super stoked to play.
For sure, and I definitely want to ask about this game because it was so much action back and forth. It started off looking really great for you guys, 14-8, and then we saw Dignitas really start to bring it back. So in that moment, what do you think started going wrong for you guys?
Oh, that's a very hard question. I think we tasted the victory a little too early and started to relax. So we had to grind out the double overtime, I think it was, and here we are, happily.
For sure, and Dignitas is a team that is known for their structure, their strategy, and having that cohesion. So when you're going up against a team like that, that is playing very well and able to bring it to overtime, how are you guys able to stay calm and really bring it down, bring it to that victory?
I think we have been playing with each other for a very long time now. So we were just trying to go with the movement and just hopefully like grind it out. It was a very hard game, and I think it was very exhausting for both teams. And yeah, but eventually we came out on top.
For sure. And now you guys are moving forward to the semifinals, and you guys are in such a good position because not only can you take tomorrow off and use that day to rest and prep and whatever you want, you guys are coming off of 2 games where you were up against some of the best teams that you actually have at this event, which puts you guys in a really good position now to potentially take the whole thing. So is that something that's on your mind, or are you trying not to think about it?
We came here with the mindset that we're gonna play 6 maps and win them all. So hopefully we're gonna do that.
Absolutely love to hear. I love to hear it. Congratulations once again. It was such a phenomenal map from you guys. We'll see you guys on Sunday. But for now, of course, we have our last winners match of the day. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's coming up after this break.